Hello everyone. In the previous class we have discussed about the procedural statements. Under that we have discussed blocking assignment statements and non-blocking assignment statements. In today's class we will see timing controls. So when we execute a Verilog HDL program and if you want to see the output on the monitor, the simulation plays a very important role. The simulation is a method to check the correctness of the output before going to the next step. So whatever the application that the designer has developed, it reflects its output on the simulator. So simulator is going to go advanced only if we provide a timing control in the statements. In previous topics also we have discussed the timing controls using some delays in the statement. So various behavioral timing control constructs are also available in the Verilog. So in Verilog, if there are no timing control statements, then the simulation time does not advance. It will remain in the same place. That is, suppose if it is presently at the 0th time, the simulation will not advance and it will remain at the 0th time unit only. So whatever the input combinations if you are provided in the application program, those combinations will not appear on the simulation screen monitor. So if you want to advance the simulation, then a timing control must be present in the statements. So timing controls provide a way to specify the simulation time at which the procedural statement will execute. So there are three different methods of the timing control. They are, first one is the delay based timing control, second one is event based timing control, and the third one is level sensitive timing control. We will see these three methods one by one. The first one is the delay based timing control. So delay based timing control we have already discussed in the previous topics, that is in the gate level modeling as well as in the data flow modeling. Here also the same delay based timing control can be used in the behavioral modeling also. So delay based timing control in an expression specifies the time duration between when the statement is encountered and when it is executed. So by default the delay is 0. If you do not specify any value, the default value of the delay is 0. If you specify other than a 0 value in the statement, then the statement will be encountered and it executes after the specified delay. So in an expression, the delay is going to specify the time duration between when the statement is encountered and when it is going to execute. So we used delay based timing control statements when writing few modules in the preceding chapters, that is behavioral modeling, gate level modeling and data flow modeling. We have used delay control, but here we are going to see that in deeply. Previously we have just used them. So delays are specified by the symbol hash. So as in previous case, here also the delay, if you want to provide it in any expression, that is going to be preceded by the symbol hash. The syntax for the specifying delay. So delay is nothing but hash and delay value. Hash followed by delay value, that is the syntax. So the delay value can be, it can be a number, or it can be a parameter or identifier, or it can be a spectrum identifier, space parameter identifier, or it can be a mean type max expression. So whatever it that is given in the bracket, they are optional part. So delay based timing control can be specified by a number, identifier, or mean typical or maximum delay expression. So previously we have discussed this minimum, typical, and maximum. The same thing can be used here. So there are three types of delay control for procedural assignment. First one is the regular delay control, second one is intra assignment delay control, and the third one is the zero delay control. So under delay control, again we have three types. The first one is the regular delay control, second one is the intra assignment delay control, and third one is the zero delay control. The first one is regular delay control. So the regular delay control is used when a non-zero delay is specified to the left of a procedural assignment. So if you specify any value other than 0, so that is nothing but it's a regular delay control. So here is an example. So a parameter is declared, parameter latency equal to 20, another parameter delta is equal to 2. There are few register variables x, y, z, p, q. Then the behavior modeling program begins. The above first three lines are the declaration part. Then from the initial block, it's a behavioral modeling. Then for grouping purpose, begin and end is used. Under that, a number of statements can be used. Now x is initialized with a value 0. So it is initialization. Then hash 10 y is equal to 1. So here hash 10, hash followed by a number. So this is a regular delay. So this is a delay with a number here. X equal to 0, there is no delay here. Without delay, that expression is written here, but the second statement in a initial block, y is equal to 1, is going to execute after 10 units of time. So delay control with a number here. The 10 is a number, that's why delay is controlled by the number. So delay execution of y is equal to 1 by 10 units. Then next, hash latency. Now observe here, latency is an identifier. It's a parameter type. So instead of number, a latency is used, and in the declaration part, the latency is declared as 20. So that identifier is used here. So here delay control with identifier, that is delay of 20 units. So like this, a delay can be specified. This is also a regular delay, hash followed by latency. That is, latency is an identifier, and the initial identifier is initialized with value 20. It is declared as 20. So 20 is replaced here, and the statement is going to execute after 20 units of time. then hash latency plus delta. So here latency plus delta together becomes an expression here. So hash followed by latency plus delta. We have the values of latency as well as delta, that is 20 and 2 respectively, and they are added. So the delay will be 22. So the P is equal to 1 is going to execute after 22 units of time. Then hash y. So here y is again a identifier. So here delay is controlled with identifier. So it will take a value of y. So y is 1. So after 1 unit of time, this expression x equal to x plus 1 will be executed. Then next hash 4:5:6. So this is minimum, typical and maximum delay values that previously whatever we have discussed in the module number 3. So those value, 4 is a minimum value, 5 is a typical value, and 6 is the maximum value. So minimum, typical and maximum delay value also can be specified like this, and q is equal to 0 is executed by taking this min, type and max value. So here in this example, the procedural assignment is delayed by either number which is specified by the delay control. So here for begin and end groups, so we have after initial we have a begin and end group. The delay is always relative to time when the statement is encountered. Therefore y is equal to 1 is executed 10 units after it is encountered in the activity flow. The second one is the intra-assignment delay control. So here instead of specifying delay control to the left of the assignment, it is also possible to assign a delay to the right of the assignment operator. So in the previous case, that is in the regular delay control, we have used at the beginning of the expression, that is to the left of the assignment. So that is regular delay control. Instead of that one, we can also use this hash followed by the delay value that can be used at the right side of the assignment operator. So such delay specifications are nothing but intra assignment delay control. So these are going to alter the flow of activity in a different manner. So that we are going to see with some example. So that is, it is the, what is the difference between the intra assignment delays and the regular delays, that we are going to see with this example. So in this example, just see, first define the register variables. So here 3 variables are defined, reg x, y, z. Then the initial block starts. So in the initial block there are two statements, x equal to 0, z equal to 0. There are 3 statements, x equal to 0, z equal to 0, and y is equal to hash 5 x plus z. Now see here, hash 5 is used after the assignment operator, that is equal to. So this is intra assignment delay control. So in previous case, first hash 5 is used, then y is equal to x plus z. Like this we have used in the regular delay control, but in this case after y is equal to, we have specified a delay hash 5. So this is a example of the intra assignment delay which is used right side of the assignment operator. Is equal to is the assignment operator here. So take a value of x and z at time equal to 0 here. So at time equal to 0, x is 0, z is 0. So evaluate x plus z and then wait 5 time units to assign value to y. So x value is 0 and z value is 0. It will calculate the value of x plus z. Then it will assign this value to y after 5 time units. So this is equivalent method. Here it is the end of the example. This is the equivalent method with the temporary variable and regular delay control value. That is, initial block again, begin x equal to 0, z equal to 0, then a temporary variable temp xz equal to x plus z. So that means x plus z value is stored temporarily in another variable, and that result is assigned to y after 5 time units. So this is the equivalent method of writing the in using regular delay control. If you use a regular delay control, this is what that intra assignment delay does using y is equal to #5. So this is the equivalent method with a temporary variable and a regular delay control. Here note the difference between the intra assignment delays and the regular delays. So regular delays postpone the execution of the entire assignment. Regular delays are going to postpone or defer the execution of the entire assignment here. Whereas in the intra assignment delays, they are going to compute the right hand side expression at the current time. First they are going to compute the expression at the current simulation time, then postpone the assignment of the computed value to the left hand side variable, because it stores the value temporarily until the delay value is elapsed. Then once the specified delay completed, it is going to assign the evaluated value to the variable. So the intra assignment delays are like using regular delays with a temporary variable to store the current value of the right hand side expression. So that is the difference between the intra assignment delay and the regular delay. So in the regular delay, we use the delay value at the left hand side of the assignment operator, whereas in the intra assignment delay we use right hand side of the assignment operator. Then one more difference is, in regular delays the complete execution of the expression is going to postpone when the delay is used, whereas in the intra assignment delay, first it will evaluate the expression, then it stores it temporarily, then after the specified delay value is elapsed, the evaluated value is assigned to the variable. So it just postpones the assignment, not the evaluation, by using a temporary variable. So this is the difference between the regular assignment delay and the intra assignment delay. And the third one, in the delay based timing control, that is zero delay control. So as the name suggests, zero delay control, it is very easy. By default also the zero delay is used. Procedural statement in different always block or initial block may be evaluated at the same simulation time. So the order of execution of these statement in different always initial block is non-deterministic. So if you have a multiple expressions statements in a always block or initial block, so if you are using a procedural statement, then they are going to be evaluated at the same simulation time. So that is the order of execution of the statement cannot be determined. It is a non-deterministic. Zero delay control is a method to ensure that the statement is executed last after all the other statement in that simulation time are executed. So zero delay control is going to give it's a method which ensures the statement is going to executed last after all the other statements are executed in that simulation time. So this is used to eliminate the race condition. So in previous case we have discussed what is race condition. By specifying the delay, zero delay, also you can eliminate this race condition. But if there are multiple zero delay statements, again the order between them is going to be non-deterministic, because if you have a more than one statement, then if both have the same delay value, that is 0, then again the order between them is going to be non-deterministic. So here the example of a zero delay control. Initial block, it is begin x equal to 0, y is equal to 0. Here the delay is not specified here in this case, in the first initial block. So there are total 4 statements in the whole program: x equal to 0, y equal to 0, then x equal to 1, y equal to 1. So here out of this 4 statement, x equal to 0, y equal to 0, x equal to 1, y equal to 1 are to be executed at a simulation time 0. But since x equal to 1 and y equal to 1 have hash 0, that is a 0 delay value specified here, they will be executed last here, because they have specified a 0 delay value. Therefore at the end of time 0, x will have a value 1 and y will have a value 1, because they execute last. The order in which x equal to 1, y equal to 1 are executed is non-deterministic, because both have the 0 delay value. That's why which even though the order is written x as x first, y second, in which order they are going to execute, that cannot be determined. So this example is just used as an illustration purpose, but using this hash 0 is not recommended here, because even though if you do not use any delay, it will take automatically by default the 0 delay itself. If you have any non-zero value, that can be specified as a delay. That's why using hash 0 is not recommended. So these are the 3 methods in delay based timing control. In the next class we will discuss event based timing control. Thank you for watching the video.